What's going on, YouTubers? So I actually got a little treat for you guys today. I'm actually planning on doing another video series, this time on leadership. Not focused on pharmacy, but it certainly is going to have a flavor of pharmacy in it. My goal for these videos are to keep them short and sweet, just like myself. So maybe like 3, 4, 5 minutes long, something like that. But I'm hoping that these videos can be used as small nuggets that you all can use and apply to your day-to-day life. Whether you're a pharmacy student, resident, new practitioner, seasoned pharmacist, manager, director, whatever it may be, hopefully you can apply it. And if you're not a pharmacist, hopefully these can apply to you as well. Now in this video, I'm actually going to discuss some of the leadership development resources that ASHP has, both free and paid, what they have to offer, and share some of them with you today. Let's go. So before I really jump into the content, I wanted to give you the reason why I'm starting this series and why I was interested in starting this series. And part of the reason, if you've been following some of my videos in the past, a couple months ago, I think it was probably last year sometime, so maybe December, I was nominated to be part of this leadership development panel. To give you the full name, I actually have to read this because it's kind of long. It's the ASHP Foundation and ASHP Joint Section and Forum Leadership Development Advisory Panel. You know, it's a mouthful. Alright, but so this panel is comprised of 19 different individuals that were nominated from the different sections and forums all over ASHP, and of course, I myself is representing the section of Pharmacy Informatics and Technology, or Informatics. And with that being said, due to my involvement in the panel, I was actually kind of blown away by the amount of resources that ASHP already has. And even more so blown away because some of the content was on YouTube, which I would have expected was easily accessible, millennials like it, all that kind of jazz. But they were on YouTube and hardly being utilized. So I was like, what's going on here? Thus, in this video, I want to share 6 key resources from ASHP to all of you aspiring leaders out there, whether it be formal leadership or informal leadership. Health system pharmacy leaders, and these are like pioneers of our field who offer great insight on our profession from when it began to how it's now. So they give really broad, they paint these broad pictures and talk about these high-level concepts of pharmacy. Very great insight. Now, the main impetus of why they developed this in the first place is that they realized that a lot of our senior leaders in pharmacy and great leaders in pharmacy are retiring, and there's going to be this gap and shortage of leadership in our profession. And part of this, because they're retiring, students, residents, pharmacists, whoever, and aspiring leaders, they won't be readily accessible to us. So they wanted to do these conversations with them so we can kind of get their insights and get their advice and mentorship about their experiences so they can share with us. So it's a great resource. I haven't watched all of them as of yet. There's quite a few out there. And they're some of them are pretty long actually. The ones I've watched so far between 15 and 30 minutes. So great resource, they're on YouTube. So for all you millennials out there, it's definitely easy to watch during lunch break, wherever snack, Mickey D's, you know what it is. Alright, so that's the first content. The second content are the Whitney lectures, who some of you may know about. I didn't really learn about these until residency, and I didn't know that these resources were actually out there to read and review until a couple months ago. So these Harvey lectures are actually awards. They began in 1950 by the Michigan Society of Hospital Pharmacists to recognize these individuals that made significant contributions to hospital pharmacy. It's actually now evolved to become the highest honor in health system pharmacy. For these resources, they're not videos per se. There are little short snippets of the award recipients briefly talking about the awards. So these are like maybe like 3, 4, 5 minute long, sometimes shorter. But they just briefly discuss the award. The entire lecture, it is like a print document that you can read. They're pretty long. But they're, again, great topics that kind of cover the healthcare field as a whole. They're not always pharmacy specific, but as I said earlier, a lot of this stuff has like pharmacy flavors in it. They're great insight from these well-renowned individuals that made significant impact. So definitely worth a read. Do check it out. The third piece of content is the Leadership Speakers Bureau. I'm not very familiar with it, but I thought it was really cool. So what this is actually a partnership between ASHP and the student organizations in pharmacy. And it actually began as a request from student pharmacy associations that wanted more leadership development. And so what it has evolved to is essentially you, various pharmacy schools, student chapters, whatever, can request for leaders, established leaders in the pharmacy profession, to come and speak at your school. It's really cool because ASHP actually offers and supports the financial pieces of this and also brings in the speaker for you. So you're all pretty set to go. All you gotta do is fill out this application and request for them to come. I don't know all the different intricacies about it, but it's definitely worthwhile to know that this kind of resource exists. The fourth piece of content is the pharmacy forecast, which I actually talked about in my very first video on here. I'll put a link somewhere to that video. I do give a disclaimer that was my first video when I was getting back in the pharmacy thing. And so it's not that great. I'm not saying my current videos are that great either, but you know what it is. So anyway, this pharmacy forecast, as I mentioned before, and just to reiterate now, is basically, in a nutshell, a report from various health system leaders across the enterprise that predicts where the pharmacy profession is heading. So something definitely to check out because they give you different thoughts from these leaders on like residency development, provider status, how even like the Trump administration will impact our profession, various things like that. It's very broad picture, high level concepts in pharmacy. It's a great resource to check out. It's pretty long, but very useful as well. Now, the last two areas of content I'm not very familiar with as well. These are actually the paid resources. And the two that I'm going to mention is the Pharmacy Leadership Academy and the Pharmacy Leadership Institute. The first one, which is the Pharmacy Leadership Academy, it's like a series of 6 or 7 lectures, and it's for the entire year that you take, and it's like a self-paced course that you meet and do webinars with people who are in your cohort of students. I talked to a couple people who went through it when I was a resident in Utah. They found it very helpful. It's definitely great for networking. That's one of the biggest highlights of this program, aside from all the great content you learn from it. But something definitely to check out. The other thing is, again, the Pharmacy Leadership Institute. This one's more condensed. It's actually just 1 week. So you fly over, I think it's a partnership with Boston. You fly over there, their distinguished professors teach you various things about leadership. But there are 2 resources that you can definitely check out. They're paid resources. So something just to mention. That was kind of it for the entire video. I did want to say that the comments that I made about each of these resources definitely do not do it justice, like I mentioned earlier. So each of the content pieces, I'm going to just point you to a resource down in the description below. Definitely check them out. Like I said, I'm reviewing a lot of them, and it's free. It's just essentially free. Aside from the 2 paid ones, but they're great resources if you're looking to be an aspiring leader at all, or want to improve some of your like communication skills, persuasion skills, negotiation skills, even conflict management, which we can all use in our day-to-day. Definitely helpful resources to check out. All right, guys, until next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in and watching the video. If you like the content, definitely hit the ImproRx button over to your left to subscribe, and definitely check out more videos over here to your right. Now, as always, if you have questions, comments, and even better, suggestions for future videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, until next time, guys.